Welcome to the weekly update. Those of you who know our World News Watch, what does he say? He says good morning, this is a big bash. Well, good morning, this is Amos Tarfa. Good evening. Here, I'm just recording a brief video talking about the updates from last week and the updates for the coming week. Basically, we're going to go over quite a few things. So I really want to encourage you to get a piece of paper and a pen so that you can highlight the things you would like to discuss with me based on what I'm going to share. I'm going to share about 10 things here, so it's going to go boom, 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 quickly. And so I have my notes, so I will refer to them as I go. I will try to maybe edit the notes and have it in a PDF so that if you want the PDF, let me know and I can share the PDF with you. But basically, this is our weekly update, but it's also like a monthly update because we're going into a new month. So not only is it just talking about the week, it's also talking about the month, and it's actually talking about the summer, and it's talking about the fall. So there's a lot here, but let me do this, and it should go well. Before I dive in, I do want to share a few things. I recorded a longer video on my Living Sensibly channel. I have a podcast called Living Sensibly Podcast. And on that channel, my other YouTube page, you can watch the full 25-minute discussion on this. But in this introduction, I just want to say that our daily bread is available to all our students. And please, I want to encourage parents to please encourage your children to take a copy and to read along with us. It literally takes 4 minutes, only 4 minutes. But those 4 minutes can be very influential in the life of a child. And so when I grew up in Nigeria, my dad would read this every day to us, every evening, without fail. And I thank God for what he did through my dad and the influence it's had on me. But basically, what they do with our daily bread is that it has a passage to read. So Psalm 62 is the passage. And then it has a verse to focus on. This one is, trust in him at all times, you people. Pour out your hearts to him, for God is our refuge. God is our refuge. That's a wonderful reminder. And then it goes into a story or like an explanation of the passage, which is really cool because it helps young people to see some of the context of the passage. Our children need God's word. How can a young man keep his way pure? How can a young woman keep her way pure? The Bible makes it clear. Thy word have I hidden in my heart, that I might not sin against you. So for those of you who don't know, I have actually been a student of the Bible and been a home church pastor back in the day. And then I've taught the Bible for about 15 years. I feel old, but yeah, over 15 years now, I've actually studied the scriptures. And so I love God's word. It has been my guide. And so I just want to encourage you to make sure that we continue to pass this on to our children. So the lesson here was about clocks and calendars. And then Psalm 62 talks about how life is like a vapor. Life can be very sudden, right? Life can be short, and life is short, right? 120 years is a short time when you think about thousands of years that people have been living on the earth, right? You think about Abraham about 4,000 years ago on the earth. 120 years, very little right there, right? Even though we've lived in like some of the, it's been tough times, but we've had a great amount of progress in 100 years, right? We got the airplane, we've gotten better cars. So I thank God that I live today. But I just want to encourage you to recognize from Psalm 62, the main point here, and then we'll dive into our weekly update. The main point is that life is like a vapor. We're here today and we're gone tomorrow. That means that we have a certain amount of time to make the most of the life we have. And that's why Mr. Tarfa says this a lot. He talks a lot about time and making the most of your time. That's why Mr. Tarfa doesn't want you to waste time with certain courses. He wants you to collect them so you don't have to repeat them in college. Why? Because time is short. So make the most of your time. Why? So you can be a blessing to people. So you can be an encouragement to people. So you can serve the Lord with the life he's giving you. Ephesians chapter 5. I'll say this and then we'll dive into our update. It says in Ephesians chapter 5 verse 15, walk circumspectly. It says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. The days are evil. And that is part of why LifeSTEM Academy exists, because the days are evil. There's a lot that is happening that is not right. There's a lot of deceit happening to children, which is not right. There's a lot of deceit in society, which is not right. The Bible says that there will come a day where evil will be called good and good will be called evil. And we're seeing that in broad daylight. That's part of why we exist. So what is the point of LifeSTEM Academy? It's to equip and encourage families to encourage their kids. And we want to partner with families as they raise their kids so that we can raise the next generation of Daniels, Shadrachs, Meshach, Abednegos, Esthers, Ruth. Like we need people that take initiative, people that are on point and focused on doing what makes sense so that they can be like a salt and a light to this generation. Our compass is broken and we need the Lord to guide us in this nation, and that's part of why LifeSTEM Academy exists. Amen? Okay, now let's talk about the updates. So first of all, I hope you had a good week. This past week, we had a knowledge bowl, we had math bowl, and we had some sporting activities. I will tell you right away that we have to work out the nuts and bolts when it comes to the sporting activities. We only have so much space, right? And so we're trying to figure out the best balance. Some people like basketball, some people like pickleball, which is something I introduced the students to, and then some people like soccer, right? I'm a soccer player. I've played since I was 4, 5, 6 years old. I've competed in leagues, and by God's grace, I've won some tournaments. So I'm a soccer player, okay? But I also play tennis, and now I've picked up a new sport, pickleball, which is my new sport that I want to be a champion in, right? When you get into your 30s, it's probably easier to play pickleball than to try running around in soccer. And so please bear with us as we try to figure out systems for all the sporting activities. But if you're interested in advancing your career in sporting activities, make sure you let us know and remind us. And so we want to get a good basketball team, a good soccer team, and then we want to get people competing in pickleball. We'll have rankings. My goal by the end of the year is to be #1. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have rankings in pickleball. So if you're interested in these sports, let us know. I want to do what I can, and then we're praying for certain things to work out, but there is a chance we could have a second gym. If we have a second gym, which is where we have chapel, we'll move our chapel to a classroom, big classroom. There's a big classroom. Now we can have pickleball, on one side, and you can have like basketball on the other. Even though as I was just sharing, I just realized, you know what, there's actually another space we can have pickleball. So we can technically have 2 to 3 pickleball options, but just bear with us as we work through the details. Okay, so if you're interested in soccer or basketball or pickleball, make sure you note that down in your notes and let me know as we create our teams. Number 2, so we will have Mr. Cameron Fossum take over the gym program starting in the summer into the fall. So Mr. Cameron will be taking care of a lot of the details when it comes to the gym and the different sports. He actually would also be helping with our basketball team, which is one of the teams we can have that will compete against other schools. So in the fall, we're going to plan to have our basketball team represented in different leagues. Okay, Knowledge Bowl, Geography Bowl, and math competitions. If your child loves to compete in those things, let me know. This last time we did it where we basically just gave people a chance to have their team members take different roles. But if you want to compete seriously in Knowledge Bowl or Geography Bowl or math tournaments, let me know, because I believe we have potential as a school to raise up people that will be the best in those fields. So please also note that down, okay? And I'll try and send a survey where I can gather all this information. Okay. So that's the update with the gym and so on. Okay, LifeSTEM Academy would like to provide avenues to help children take their talents to the next level. I believe that we can have the best math team in town, we can have the best Knowledge Bowl team, but one of the first steps is figuring out who wants to do it, who's passionate about it, and then I want to give you the tools to do well in those things. So we're gonna get sign-ups, and then you just let me know, and I'll connect you with the appropriate people. Okay. If you are a parent and you want to volunteer, let's say you want to volunteer to lead our robotics team, or you want to lead a different team, let me know, please, so we can begin to have people take on different roles. So if you're a parent, you have a certain skill set and you want to help, let me know, please, and we will go from there. We have been blessed to form a relationship with the Grand Forks LifeSTEM Academy. So basically, LifeSTEM Academy Moorhead has a relationship with Grand Forks. Both of them are owned by the same entity, which is basically the Learning Institute for Excellence, which helps people start schools. So we're basically helping them start theirs. But here's the good news. Their staff is actually going to be helping us with certain things. So that's amazing. We've been blessed to have Dr. Jean Gullux. She's taught some of our general science students. She's going to be a big part of it. She's the director of the Grand Forks location, and she'll be coming down to Moorhead regularly, once in a while. And so she's a mental health specialist. She works a lot with children and families, and she's going to be helping us just grow in this arena of mental health, as well as just some administrative things. She has a helper, Mary Dietrich. Mary is also going to be involved. And then they actually have 2 admin people who will be helping us. They'll be doing things like background checks. Eventually we'll transition to doing our payroll together. So there's different things that we're getting from Grand Forks. So I just want you to know that our admin staff is growing. So we thank God we have more hands helping both Moorhead and Grand Forks at the same time. Okay, that partnership is a symbiotic relationship, as the biologists will say, which means that both parties are benefiting. Okay, now let's talk about next week. Sorry, that was a lot of introduction leading up to this point. Next week, May 1st to the 5th, we have regular classes on Monday and Thursday, and then, of course, the 5-day people come for the rest of the time. I call next week Spiritual Awareness Week. I guess we should always be seeking to grow spiritually, but next week especially, I just want you to really build some good disciplines. wake up early, read your Bible, seek to pray, right? This is me encouraging the students. Just seek to be growing in your faith. That's very important. It's a new month. It's a great opportunity, right? And then there's actually something called the National Day of Prayer, which is going to be happening in Fargo, Moorhead. I believe Valley Leadership Conference. There's a group that does this event. So if you're interested in the National Day of Prayer event, let me know and I can pass that on to you. So use our daily bread. Pick a book of the Bible, like the book of John or the book of Acts, and just read through it, students. It's going to be very good. 28 chapters in Acts and 21 chapters in John. We need our young people to be grounded in God's word more than ever before. And that's part of why I'm emphasizing that this coming week. On Friday of next week, actually on Thursday, I'm going to be at the school late till about 7 o'clock. From 6 to 7, I'm offering this. It's open to all families, but please know that it's not mandatory. No, it's open to all families, and I plan to do this regularly, even through the summer. One day a month, I would love to just dedicate an hour of prayer for families, and just bringing families together to pray for our nation, to pray for our students, to pray for our communities, and just to pray for whatever is a burden on our hearts. Let's just come together as families, fathers, mothers, children. Come, let's pray and commit everything to the Lord and give him thanks for what he's done. That's part of what we're also going to do during this time of 6 to 7 on Thursday, May 4th. Okay, it's optional, but I will be there from 6 to 7 for just a time of prayer with my family. So you can join us at the school if you want to attend that event. Okay, I think we'll use the student lounge to keep it simple. Okay, so that's from 6 to 7. Moving on to the next update. On the 5th of May, some of you might be aware, some people are going to London. We have 20 people. We thank God for all the details that have come together. And of course, there's more details will be worked out later. But from May 5th, on Friday around 10 o'clock, we'll meet at the airport. And then we fly out to Chicago and then to London. And then on the 12th of May, on Friday, we'll be back in town about 9 p.m. at night. So we'll be going to London, we'll be going to Scotland, some people will be going to France on our flex day, and some people will be going to Germany, Switzerland. And so there's a lot of stuff happening in Europe. Why do we do these trips? Because it is a wonderful thing to go back to some of the places where Western civilization was birthed out of, where some things that we're benefiting from today came from. So we're doing it for that reason. We're also visiting Oxford University, Cambridge University, as well as the University of Edinburgh. And then I will be visiting the University of Basel, which is where our friend Leonard Euler was born. You guys know I talk a lot about Euler, so it makes sense to hang out in his city in Basel, Switzerland. So that's what's happening. Why am I saying all this though? Because the trip for the next school year has already been planned as far as the dates and the venue. We will be going to Germany, Switzerland from February 15th to February 22nd. There's a chance we might move the return to the 23rd. It depends on those who sign up and their willingness, and because the Thursday will be better, but we could probably stay till Friday if we need one extra day. But February 15th to the 22nd is the plan right now. Germany, Switzerland. You can actually start signing up now so that we can begin to plan. Okay, so it's a trip to Germany, Switzerland, and it's going to be open to families. Sorry about that interruption. It's going to be open to families in LifeSTEM, of course, and then also those outside of LifeSTEM. So maybe some homeschool families or others who are interested in joining us to study, Switzerland and Germany and the life of Martin Luther, because we're going to visit where the 95 theses were, put on the doors. So we're going to do some of that travel around Germany, Switzerland. Again, sorry for the interruption there with our broadcasting. Okay, back to the last couple of things. So we've talked a little bit about just the heart of LifeSTEM Academy. A reminder again that we're trying to raise up and encourage our young people, along with their families, to raise up young people who are going out and who are going to make a difference by the grace of God in the day and age that we live in. We're also looking at next week's schedule, which we talked a little bit about Monday, Thursday, but we're really trying to grow in our walk with the Lord. That's something we always talk about generally, but next week especially, I want to encourage us going into next week. New month, new opportunities. Let's seek to finish the year strong and also seek to be grounded in His Word. So our Daily Bread is a great resource for our students. You can share whatever book of the Bible you want your children to read, of course, but I just gave an encouragement from the book of Acts and John, which are books that I'll be reading myself. Okay. Next school year's enrollment is open. It has been open for a while. We're probably at about, I have about 50, there's some people who haven't signed up, but based on what has been shared, there's about 50 people in one way or the other. That's an estimate, but we do need to know exactly where we're at. And so please, if you are interested in coming back, or if you're in the program now, if you're interested in coming back, please make sure you fill out the new enrollment form, which I'll attach in this video in the description. However, if you are if you have any questions and you're not sure yet, you let us know so we can have the conversation, because we are going to limit the class size to 24 per cohort. A few quick updates on the cohorts. So we have K3 that is using more of like a Montessori style learning opportunity. They are only doing hybrid this year. So basically we have hybrid Mondays and Thursdays with a Wednesday elective. So the maximum number of days for our K3 students is 3 days. So they're doing school on Monday and Thursday. We have a great team working with them. They're gonna have a big classroom. Their limit is 24 also students, and that is actually one of the classes that is almost full. But they have about 24 students, and it will be more Montessori style, a lot of enrichment, working with the teacher and her assistant and the other assistant. They're going to be making sure that the students are growing in their knowledge and abilities and gifts. And then my hope is that when they get to the 4th grade level, that we can help nurture that more with the families. Now, 4th to 12th grade does have a 5-day option, but we also are keeping the hybrid, right? We want to provide the best hybrid program. And so with that said, of course, there was bumps in the road, and we understand that. But you have to keep in mind that when LifeSTEM Academy started, there was a vision to start, but we didn't have any funding. We didn't have anything when we started. We thank God for everything we have now, but we had nothing. But we knew we had a vision, and we wanted to go forward with what we believe could be a blessing to others. Now we've had 1 year. Of course, we've learned a lot. And we have a whole summer to plan with our teachers, right? When we started, which was about a year ago, when I actually was able to get a location, which is a miracle for another day we can talk about. But the fact that we have that building, and I know that it's not a perfect building, but it's a very good building, and has helped us very well to get through the year. So please, if you want to hear that story sometime, let me know. But Mondays and Thursdays will continue, but Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays, we have several 4th to 12th graders coming. We do not have Tuesdays and Fridays for the kindergarten and 3rd graders. Kindergarten to 3rd graders, okay? So the cohorts are K through 3, 4 through 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12. So there's currently 5 cohorts. The 4th through 6th, depending on funding and numbers, is the one group that I know will potentially have a split to have more help and more focus for the students. The 4th through 6th grade will have Mrs. Owen as their homeroom teacher, but she's actually going to be focusing on teaching a lot of English writing focus for some of the other cohorts actually as well. However, she now has and will have an assistant all the time. So we have 2 people now that are basically going to be running the 4th through 6th. I will be mostly doing work in the science and math section. So I'll still, until we get all that we need, I will still play the role of trying to coordinate things and teach. But my hope eventually is to step back from the teaching as we hire more math and science instructors. So there's a different video we can do where we get into the nuts and bolts of the curriculum, and we get into the nuts and bolts of the subjects. And I actually want to invite you to schedule a time to come and look at what we're doing and what we're planning, so you can know what's happening, right? We have our default curriculum, but if you want to use your own curriculum, that's something we can discuss. I think it'd be good for us to have those conversations now, which is, we have opportunities. We know that we're going into next year with those plans. We didn't have that last year coming in, right? That was, the school was new. There's a lot of new things. But by God's grace, we will improve and we'll do our best and we will communicate clearly, which leads to summer times. In summer, there's 3 summer camps in June, in July, and in August. The last week of June, the last week of July, and basically the first full week of August, the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, those are the summer opportunities. So please let us know if you're interested in coming. There is no cost to LifeSTEM Academy students to attend STEM camps. It is, if you are signed up for this school year, you can attend the STEM camps. Even if you're not coming back in the fall, you can attend the STEM camps at no cost to you. So LifeSTEM Academy students basically get support 12 months, the whole year, because we believe strongly in the importance of learning that needs to continue even in the summer. So the STEM camps will have more hands-on opportunities, more discussions in math and science history. You guys know that I love that world, so we're going to have more of those opportunities. I will share the dates with you now in case you have your calendars. So basically the first one is in June. It's from June 27th to the 29th. So that's the first one. The second one is in July, and that is July 25th to the 27th. And the third one, give me 1 second. Let me pull this up here. Let's see. We're going to the third one. The third one is August 8th to the 10th. So those are the STEM camps. But here's the thing. If you want to do math and if you want to do science practice throughout the summer, let me know. We can coordinate with some of the teachers. I know that there's people that will be scheduled at different times. So let's talk about that for our Lifestem Academy students if you want to do more. I'm releasing a lot of my resources and putting them available on our website and on YouTube. So you can also just use that to study. But if you need coaching through the summer, let us know. We'll help you through. We want you to come back in the fall stronger in your math skills and stronger in your reading skills. Don't relax too much to the point that you're not doing the things you need to be doing to stay sharp, okay? So the 4th to 12th grade option is the only 5-day option for families. I have a separate video where I'll go into detail on the math, the English, the science, the history, and then the logic, which is an elective. But the difference with logic this time, though, is not everybody's ready for logic. And so some people might have a study hall during that time, right? If you feel like it's a lot of pain learning about the laws of logic, we can give you an alternative for that time. We will only focus on the core subjects on Mondays and Thursdays: English, math, history, science, right? That's the focus. Wednesdays is where we can do more of the electives. Now, if you are saying, well, I wanted to do music, or I want to do foreign language, don't worry, we'll talk about it. And if you can't come out on Wednesdays, we will coordinate. We're going to have a lot of resources in terms of video capacity for people to tune in from home. And so let's say you're a homeschooler and you want to still have access to resources on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can tune in to the classes whenever the iPads are active. We're going to have iPads in each of the main rooms. So the teachers that teaches something extra, you can just log in and watch what's going on. Okay, those are some of the updates with the electives. Okay, now let's go on quickly to a few other things, and then I'll make a longer video talking about curriculum and subjects. So remember, CLEP preparation is very important, and now we're in the season of CLEP preparation. So Mr. Roughhead and Mr. Fossum and myself, we're doing a lot of CLEP preparation with our students in the math and history. So please make sure that you let us know if you're interested. A lot of it happens after school. Some of mine is just going to be uploaded into a playlist. But I want my students to be ready for college algebra CLEP. We actually have a middle schooler who will be CLEPing the college algebra, and that's exciting because basically I want our 7th graders to start getting up to 9 college credits each year at least. So in their math and in their science and in their history, they could choose to CLEP. And so I want our students to graduate from Lifestem with 60 college credits. Like, that's the minimum. That's the okay standard. But the alternative is I want them to be done with all their college also by the end of 12th grade, so they can do courses online or courses somewhere but still be in high school. I think that you could do that, and then they can do their master's or PhD after that if they're interested in the college route. Remember that I'm recording a course on career planning, so I know I talk about college, but it's not the only path. But for those who want to use that path, basically I want you to be efficient. The career preparation course is coming out soon. Hopefully by May, we'll have more details with the course. But right now, I'm going to be releasing a few videos on strategies for picking a career. Okay, almost done. I'm sorry this update is a little longer. We have transcripts sessions that we're going to have where we go over what are the requirements and things you need to graduate high school. I'll be doing a video on that as well. So, you need 120 credits to graduate from college. And then some states talk about, like Minnesota, 21 or 21 and a half credits to graduate from high school. Those are not the same number of credits when we say that. What they mean by credits with the Minnesota one is a year for English, a year for this math, a year for that, and so on and so forth. We'll talk about the nuts and bolts of that, so please stay tuned for that video as well. Let's see. We'll have more study hall opportunities. So let's say you have a student who wants to take just math with us and science, and there's a gap in between our math and science for that student. Then they can use our library to study, right? And our library has actually a camera system installed already, so we can see where people are, and like if people are studying and doing what they said they would need to do. That also just helps for accountability. So we have that system in place, and we're gonna have it in all the other classrooms eventually. Basically have this nice cameras that can help, monitor each classroom and make sure that people are behaving and studying hard as they say they are studying. So we will define our expectations clearly in terms of here's what we can offer from Lifestem Academy, and we want to hear what your expectations are. These are conversations I would love to have with families so that we both know what's expected. Like, do you want grades? Do you want to just come for enrichment? Do you want to come just to have your kids interact with other kids? What are your goals and expectations for us, and what are our goals and expectations, and how can we have a good working relationship as we try to inspire your students? So that's something I want to encourage families to reach out. If you want to set up a meeting and just talk through what would you like to see different, what are your suggestions, how can we serve you better, please let us know. We are walking through this season of learning how to do things better. So give us insight and advice and recommendations so we can keep improving. The last set of things here I have is that basically I have 3 YouTube channels affiliated with me and with LifeSTEM, and I want to just explain what they're for, and then you can understand why there's multiple. The first one is the LifeSTEM Academy channel, which is where this is hosted, and that's for events at the school or special videos on how to study and how to work hard in school. Just general overview of certain courses, but not the specifics. Like, I'm not gonna keep putting videos about how to add fractions on the LifeSTEM Academy channel because it's more focused on the school as a whole and everybody and all the families. So that's the first YouTube channel, and I want to encourage you to please subscribe to it so you can see updates about the school. And keep in mind that some of the updates about the school can be an encouragement to you, even if you don't attend the school. So I understand that there are people who are subscribed who are not LifeSTEM Academy parents, but they maybe can benefit from some of the things that happen at the school. And we thank God that it can be a blessing to you. The second channel is Living Sensibly, right? It's Living Sensibly with Amos Tarfa. That's my personal YouTube channel, which used to be the only channel that I was using for the most part. So some of you might already be subscribed to it. But on that channel, I share, for example, devotionals. I share life lessons, Bible teachings. And so I just did one on Psalm 62, which I'm going to add in the description section. So basically, I teach and encourage us to grow in our walk with the Lord. So there's one channel that is focused on the school, career preparation. There's one channel that is focused on spiritual growth and just my life work that I do. And so I've written a few books and I'm putting them to that channel in terms of like the audio and the video. Then there's a third channel, which is called LifeSTEM Academics. LifeSTEM Academics is going to have thousands of videos that are simply showing people different aspects of different subjects. Like, here's how to add fractions, here's how to add decimals, here's how to add here's how to work with percents, here's chemistry, here's physics, here's biology. It's just going to have a lot of our content for all our coursework. So that's what LifeSTEM Academics is for. We'll try to put it into playlists that are neat and easy to use, so you can basically take it and use it to study for pre-algebra, or take it and use it for algebra. That's what LifeSTEM Academics is for. I apologize this video has gotten a little too long, but I hope that it has been informative and has at least given you more insight as to what to expect this summer, what to expect a little bit in the fall. There's more to come for that, but I just wanted to introduce you a little bit to what's going on this coming week. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to work with your family, and thanks for walking through with us. You know, this year again, there's been a lot of learning and growing, and by God's grace, it's only going to get better as we have more conversations. So parents, please stay tuned. We're going to have a meeting for families to just ask questions, but please feel free to reach out any other time. You don't have to wait for that meeting. And then please, as I said, we will try to have regular events and opportunities for families to come, see our curriculums, meet the teachers. We'll try and have those events as well. Lastly, I want to encourage families to recognize that one of the best things that students can have is relational, like deep relationships, good relationships with other students. And so if there's a way we can help, right? If you want to have your students come to play pickleball or basketball and come spend quality time with other students, then please let us know. We want to make sure that we provide those opportunities. In the summer especially, we want our students to be productive and building good relationships. When people don't have a lot of homework, they can sometimes get into trouble. The Bible, somebody, very famous quote, the idle hand is the devil's workshop, right? So let's not allow people to just be idle, playing with technology all the time and not engaging with other people. Relationships matter. Deep relationships will help students to flourish. Thank you so much for watching this video. I pray that you have a blessed weekend, and thank you for all your support as you helped us to get off the ground with LifeSTEM Academy, and then as we look ahead to provide the best academy we can have. God bless you and take care.